One of the really neat features of Matrix is going to be the speed bar up here. This little search bar that you're going to see at the top of your tabs. This little persistent search bar up here. Now there's an easy way to use the speed bar, and then there's a more complicated way to use the speed bar. The easy way to use the speed bar and how this should be used is if you just want to pull up a listing really quick, or you want to pull up an address really quick. If I just go in and put in street number, street name, I could pull up and do a search for this address and go to the listing that I want to here. Or if I have an MLS number up here, I can go and just put in the MLS number. If I have multiple MLS numbers, I would just put a space in between them. And when I put it in here and I hit enter, it would bring me directly to that particular listing, and all I have to do is click on the MLS number here. So there's an easy way to use the speed bar, the basic functionality right there. However, if you want to get a little more fancy with this, I would have you click on the little help bubble right here, because there's a certain shorthand that you can use to pull up properties and do a search and look up open houses and agents and offices, and they're all going to be right here in this little question mark bubble right here. So this little help bubble comes up. Make sure you read this before you go right into the speed bar, and it gives you a little primer on how to use the speed bar. So street number, street name, status, listing class, county, zip code, MLS number, list price, bedrooms, bathrooms, square foot heated, open house search, agent search, office search. It's all in here, and it gives you a little bit of a heads up on how to use this. So if you want to get super fancy with this, you can type in a shorthand here, and it will get you your results very, very quickly. Do not get frustrated with this. It can be a little frustrating in the beginning because you have to know the formatting in order to really use the speed bar effectively in this way. So it does take a little bit of practice. So I can go in and I could search for a residential active property, let's say between $200,000 and $300,000 with 4 or more bedrooms, 2 or more bathrooms, and let's say we're looking in Orlando. So just by me typing in this one line of text here, I can hit enter, and it would give me my results for that search. Okay. Now, I've been doing this a while, so I've gotten used to it, but when you first come in here, and I experienced this when I first came in, if you don't type in everything correctly, it's going to start giving you error, 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 which can get very, very frustrating. Okay, there is this little bit of certain formatting that goes in here, so make sure you look at that question mark bubble. And you say, well, John, that's really, really neat, but how do I know what order everything needs to go in? Well, it's not very particular about the order. The only thing it really cares about as far as the order goes is bedrooms and bathrooms, because you don't really go around saying, I'm really looking for a 2-bathroom, 5-bedroom home. You don't really think like that. You think bedrooms and bathrooms. So just kind of continue to use that thought process when you're putting this in here. Now, the easiest way to learn this right here, the easiest way to learn how to do all this super complicated stuff in Matrix is to not use it at all. You might say, well, wait a minute, John, that doesn't really make any sense. Don't use it. What you should do to learn the speed bar is if you do want to get super complicated with that, don't use it right away. All you have to do is go in and do your normal search, and I'm going to put in my same exact criteria. Much slower, though, because I got to go and find all this stuff and click on the proper fields. And I'll put in my same stuff that I did here, all my stuff. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to go ahead and go to my results and my search and watch what happens in that speed bar up at the very, very top. Now, there's nothing there right now, but when I go to the results for this search, you're going to see the speed bar is actually going to tell me, hey, this is what you could have put to get those same results. So it kind of slowly educates you, and you will absorb how to use this as time goes by. Now, this is an optional feature of Matrix. If you never touch this, you're still going to be perfectly fine. But if you want to get fancy with this, maybe save yourself a couple seconds here and there, you could start using the speed bar. Now, not everything goes in the speed bar. It's only your basic stuff that's going to be found here in the help bubble. So if I go back to criteria and I add something like a subdivision, or if I add something like, let's say the property has to be fenced or something like that, when I go to my results here, it's still going to show me, hey, here's what everything you could have used in the speed bar, but we had to set aside the other criteria that doesn't go here. So it's going to say you could have used all of this stuff, but we couldn't use fence, so we set it aside for you. So the speed bar has a lot of functionality to it if you want to use this. Don't feel pressured to use it. It's a great feature of Matrix if you want to save a couple seconds here and there.